Life is sweet. Let it sweep you off your feet.
Hi, this is Allie and Find Your Joy, and we're so excited because today we have part 2 with the amazing, the fabulous, the ball of energy, love, and all things wonderful, Karen Kobel. And Karen is the owner and the creator and the energy and beautiful wonderfulness that is poured into and has created Kahlena Movement Studios. Hi. Welcome
Hi.
back. Oh,
So good.
We were talking last time about sound baths and everything, and I wanted to chat a little bit about how you transitioned from doing dance to now you do so many. I mean, you do Pilates and yoga, and so how did that transition work a little bit for you? Other than I get it, that's who you are, but how did that transition happen, and how'd you get here?
Yes.
How did you get here? I'm so glad you did. But how did you?
On a cruise ship.
Really?
Yeah. I was performing in the shows. I was a dancer on the cruise ships. I know. So I landed right down there on the Alaska cruise season. Side note, met my ex-husband, moved here for him.
Oh,
did all those things. But when I moved here, I basically jumped right into teaching like dance for kids at many different local dance studios. But the house where I was renting a room, one of the gals that lived there, she was a spin instructor, but also a Pilates teacher.
Oh.
So she talked to me about it because she was like, pretty much all dancers love Pilates.
Yes.
And I was like, what are you talking about? So I go with her to a couple classes, and I was like, I've been doing Pilates forever. How come nobody mentioned this word, this name? Like, this is just called ab work. This is called core work. This is called the floor work in a dance class.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So it was a very, here's the thing. In my life, there's been many organic pushes.
Yes.
Or organic decisions being made. So it was like, oh, of course you're showing up to tell me about Pilates, and I should go get certified because I've already been doing it for how many years in my dance class warm-ups. Done. So I did my mat certification and then my reformer certification. And the studio that is now my studio has been the studio that I've taught at for the last like 20 years.
Wow. So you worked for someone, and then when they went their way, you took over the studio. How beautiful is that?
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like the organic. It was like listening, like, I was teaching dance in one of the studio spaces, and then that's how I met the Pilates owner of that studio. She's like, oh, well, I'm opening up a Pilates studio. I was like, well, I'm taking my certification. She's like, great, you're hired. I'm like, done. That was easy.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then I basically became her admin assistant, like her second in command. So if she went away, I was in charge, so again, organic. So that's how I got from the dance to the Pilates, which then again organically shifts you into the yoga, and I've always taught, I taught aerobics back in the day. That was my college job.
Right.
Just saying. With the grapevines and
one more, two more, take it to a double step.
Yeah. So come here. My little boxing, like whatever. So so that's the transition. And then I've always been into like the energy side of stuff. Like I love crystals and like magic.
I love it. You were just drawn to it. Some people think, I think sometimes people think people are drawn to it how do I say this? What I'm trying to say. Sometimes when people are talking, it would appear that either they are or they feel others are drawn to energetic healing, energetic forces, whatever one might call this, from it's an outside draw. And that's so opposite to my experience because it's inside. It's the it's the inside for me being drawn,
But
and
like
that's
what's coming, like what's coming up, or like
yes,
you know, my husband's a very good read on the room,
okay,
and so like he's very intuitive,
right,
and so there have been things that have come up that I didn't listen to for
right,
myself. Then it comes up again, and he's like, I told you that last time this came up, Karen, or like with this person, or like with that person, and I'm like,
right,
like I mean, because that like inner sort of soul voice can be quiet compared to this voice up here in your head.
yes,
Do you know
yes,
what I mean?
yes.
Like that ego, like it's like yelling at you, but like your soul talk is kind of like, hey.
And I think too, not necessarily a male female thing, but some people are differently gifted in that those of us who are drawn to energy and healing and love, rainbows and unicorns. Even when I see a woundedness that maybe I need to pay attention to, my healing, my heart for healing is such that I'll go in deeper than maybe I should. Or
100%.
whereas my husband's much the same, and I think his gifting is stronger in just noticing that. And this is, it's a joke between us, but he will say, Ali has boundaries. His name's Dave.
Same.
And and in no way it's not a control or a weirdness. It's just how we work as a couple, as a team.
Yeah.
We defer to each other's gifting at times.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, it's like my husband's an ex-bouncer, and but he was the bouncer you didn't see.
Yes.
He was up high in a dark corner watching the room.
Yes.
Because that was his gift in that space, was to be able to call it right. So now I take that, I listen a little bit more when something is coming up, because with me too, it's staff, right? Like with my staff and stuff like that. And the biggest gift of a Pisces is that we see the good in everyone or for everything, but then the drawback is sometimes for too long.
Right. And something can be wonderful and good, but we still might need to use caution and wisdom in entering in a relationship. Or so I get that. Well, my husband has been 35 years in the Canadian Armed Forces. So his whole thing is, I know people are like, but he is a lovely, amazingly aware person as well. And he has this other skill set that has been trained into him.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Take that on my team.
All day.
All day.
So then you came here and you met, and your husband. So you came and you met, and then you're with your husband now, and you have a beautiful little girl, and somehow you do all of these things. You do all of it, and how do you? Because you sort of are joy, you radiate joy, you create joy, you choose joy. I'm saying, I'm going to guess that's a choice.
100%. Like, because it could be so easy
Yeah.
to sit back and be like upset about all, like, you know, like, let's just be clear, the last 3.5 years have been a gong show for
Yeah.
people in my industry, right?
Yes. Yes.
For the business owners of these smaller businesses, right? It's like,
And especially gyms for
was-
some reason. But that's another story. Like,
we chose to not have what research has proven to help you lift up your spirits not be available to people,
yes.
right? It's fine. Okay, fine. I was like, but here's what I'm saying. I was like, that bottle of wine down the street being available all the time is going to cause a whole bunch of other problems a
Yes.
few months from now.
Yes.
That's it. Right. So, you know, and in that time, enough of us got loud to say, hey, you're doing it wrong. Like, I'm just being straight up and honest.
Yes, yes, because it was like, I understand, I you know, whatever anybody's opinions are on lockdowns or distancing or whatever, there was ways that they could have accommodated people moving their bodies and allowing, you know, serotonin and other things to cruise around. And
I was like, there's certain things that are specifically released into your body when you move for a reason.
yes,
Like, and let's just put this out there, is like the people who had pre-existing mental health issues,
yes,
right? Or like that depression or that like PTSD, like those things, one of which is my husband.
Mhm.
What's it saved like so much in that time was the fact that we put up his weightlifting bench press cage in our living room
Oh,
so he could stay working out.
yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We
And you did
were very
outdoor
fortunate.
things.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. Like I showed up next door to the seniors' residence 3 days a week, whether I was by myself or I basically put it out there to my studio community. I said, hey, you want a free class? You want to stay moving through this time? I'm showing up out here. We're doing old school aerobics for the seniors. So they're going to hold on to their
Who were
patios.
so locked down.
We're going to squat. Like and you could only have access to seniors' homes that had patios. Let's just be clear.
Right.
Because you were not allowed inside there and they were not allowed outside of their suites. They were literally being served their meals on a tray left at their door. Like, so the research of what does isolation do to a human? Well, why do you think they put humans in isolation cells in prison? I'm like, the only benefit that these people had were windows and a patio, but it's still the same. Mentally, you can't go outside this box.
Yes. But connection, though, the connections that you made, that's so, that's, that I could,
like,
I'm trying to not cry because it makes me so happy that you did that. That's so beautiful.
Wow.
So the connection that they had, so you're all still moving.
Yes. Yeah, everybody's moving.
You're outside, so it's
they're
legal
smiling,
and safe and
we're
smiling.
talking.
Yes.
It's music that they love. Like, I chose playlists according to their generation, not mine.
Right.
I'm not gonna throw on, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I'm like, we're throwing on. I'm like, let's get some Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Go team. Some big band. It was lovely.
Oh, love that.
And then we showed up at Lionsgate Hospital a few times outside, like for International Dance Days, my jam. I always do something on that day. So that's how it started at the hospital, is we did like a pop-up flash mob over there. And then they invited us to be their thank you card in that November, we filmed in the atrium of Lionsgate Hospital in scrubs. And we did like our favorite dance choreography, and like they recorded it, and that was their thank you card that was sent out to anybody who donated or was a sponsor to their online events that year.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Where could I would like to, is that publicly available on YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah. It's like,
Okay,
if
well,
you go to YouTube, Lionsgate Hospital, you just put that in, but I can send you the link also.
That'd be great. Well, I'll make sure that I share that in the comments from this episode so that people can see that.
Yeah, I have some other clips I could probably send you.
That's beautiful. I love that. So through this, you've just found a way to continue moving.
Yep.
To continue sharing what you do and being incredibly positive. And it was in the midst of, you were having some real struggles yourself, some physical stuff going on, and there was things that were rather unpleasant for you, but you still chose to continue on and to do that, and to just be you, the amazing
me.
Yeah.
Just be me. Yeah. And just to share that energy with people too, right? Like that they're like, I forget that I've been in books in this time.
Yes, I know.
Like, right? And like my chapter in that one book was basically like my favorite 3 Ps. It's like passion, positivity, persistence. Like,
wow.
Like it is a choice.
Yes.
Like, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Like, it's not always easy, but like at the end of the day, also, what am I showing my daughter?
Yes.
Right? Like, she's like been with us throughout all of this. Like, she's up at the studio when it's full of people, or she's up at the studio during a lockdown when it's just me and her with my laptop sitting on the patio having a picnic for a change of scenery from our living room.
Well, that's pretty awesome that you have that. That is like, really that you have that.
That's what I'm saying, right? Is like, we were fortunate to have a space to go to that wasn't just our apartment,
and already a community built that you were doing online things with. Is that you were doing some?
It was hard to transition online, I'm not gonna lie, like, because a lot of my clients just said no.
Okay.
They're just like, I'm not learning that. I'm not learning that. And like, that's their choice, right? But so that disconnected them. And many of them, like, I just have never seen again, right? Because they didn't come with. But I did do like an online Facebook group as well. So people basically bought a membership, and then I would do however many classes a week live in that feed. My 2 other teachers like would do one class a week, right? And
that's lovely. Yes.
Yeah. And,
so and then
those videos are there. They stay on that Facebook group forever unless I delete that, right? So there's, that Facebook group is still there. I don't know if any.
But that's awesome because it gives people hope, right? There's this thing to connect to, because some people fared better than others during that time, and that you thought of that and that you reached out. Well, it's not surprising, of course, because of who you are, but that's really lovely that people had that opportunity to connect. And so what are some of the things I'm going, no, how could it be that we're coming close to the end?
We're going to have multiple.
I know, you're going to be like, I know.
We're going to do it again tomorrow.
That's right. It's going to have to be. I'm like, how is this possible? So now some of the things that aren't, because this won't probably come out till the end of September. So what are some of the things that you offer at Kahlena Studios and online and wherever else that people can connect with you and join in the fabulousness that is you and what you do?
Well, we always have our regularly scheduled programs.
Yes.
So we've always got, if you're close by and you can be here like more frequently, there's always yoga, there's always Pilates mat. We've got the Pilates machines. We've got some dance, but then we do our specialty events, right? So if you're not super close, but you're like, oh, I'm free this night, I can totally come and take advantage of this offering. We do our sound baths twice a month. We sometimes do little pop-up other events like outside, or a free dance class down at the Key or something like that. And then we're working towards some more mini retreats or weekend retreats, and then destination retreats. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. And so where exactly are you located? You're in Vancouver or North Vancouver?
So we're in North Van.
Okay.
We are in North Vancouver, and then the area in North Vancouver is called Edgemont Village,
Okay.
which is like a 2-minute drive to the Kahlena suspension bridge, right? So
Okay, great. Yes.
if when you put it into it's not deep Cove out there, it's closer, come up, like if you're coming from downtown, Lionsgate Bridge, Cap Road, straight up. Yeah. So
Awesome.
that's where we are. That's our pocket.
Okay. Well, I know you have to go. You have a class. You're off doing your thing.
Let's set another date and time for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for just sharing a little bit about, what you do and why you do what you do, and inspiring other people to do some of what you do.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So Karen, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to everyone
Okay.
listening, thanks so much for joining us. Do check Karen out in all the ways that you can. Certainly, if you're in the area, go and see her personally and check out what she's doing online. And this is Ali. Thanks again for joining us. And do remember, find your joy. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you found a piece of your joy in this episode, I would love to hear about what came up for you so that we can continue to grow the impact of this show. Thanks again. See you soon. And remember, find your joy.